All right, guys, we're getting ready for a new riding season. So in these videos coming up, Zay and I are going to be analyzing different videos, different accidents, different riders, what they could have done different, and learn from them. We want to make sure we become better riders, especially right now since we're coming off of a cold season, a little rusty. Got to knock that rust off, make sure that we stay safe and enjoy riding. So let's get into it and cover your break.
It was an accident.
All right, guys, reviewing a few crashes here. So first of many. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to watch it first and then go back and analyze it.
Woo! Just like the movie.
Yeah, just like the movies. All right, so Zane, go ahead.
Yeah, this is what happens when you get too much bike too soon, because it's really easy to get comfortable with straight line speed. And that's fine. You know, you get comfortable with it. It's no big deal to get all this power, but as soon as you need to brake really hard or turn really hard, everything's out the window. And unless you have the skills to meet the speed that you're going, you're asking for trouble. And you know, this is classic. You know, I think everybody, at least a lot of riders, I've certainly been in this situation where, you know, you're coming up on a turn that you didn't expect to be that sharp, and you kind of get he got target fixated, so we can kind of keep going. We'll watch that again, but you know, he sees it as soon as the pavement turns colors. He sees that that turn is a lot sharper than he thought, and he starts to drift. You know, he's looking in the wrong place. He's looking at the turn that he doesn't think he can make, instead of looking at that car in front of him, or even past that car. Certainly, this bike could make this turn. It's just the rider
Easy.
can't. Yeah, it could make it easy, and he does add some brake, I noticed, and he adds brake, and it's not until he hits those rumble strips that he goes down. It's just he's too much brakes for for what he's doing, and boom, he's down really really quick. Yeah, I mean, we've all been here, but really that's it reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend just this week, where he was doing something similar, except on the left was a cliff wall. And he's just like, well, either I'm going to get a real good look at that rock face, or I'm gonna turn harder than I've ever turned before. And you know, he looked in the right place. The hardest thing to do is to look in the right place, to break that target fixation temptation or instinct, and look where that pole is. I mean, where you want to be looking is where that light post is.
Yeah.
To fix this.
And what I like about this video is he is verbally saying what he's thinking. And where some people they get
like
quiet, but you can see where his mind is going. He just gave up. He just said, "Oh no, oh no, I'm going off the road." And it's unfortunate. This is a very, very doable turn, and this is why I like going through these very simple, basic turns and accidents, because when you're a new rider, the fundamentals, the bikes, especially the sport bikes designed for it. He has good lane positioning right here. It's just keep riding. Like you said, look forward.
And you can get on the brakes when you get outside, when you get on the other side of that yellow line. There's a couple things. Obviously, there's a rumble strip, but then it's also dirtier and a little less grippy. Although I've been surprised how much grip I've found on the side of the road like that when I need it. But yeah, he just needs to make a decision. Okay, either I'm going to go down, and I don't want to go down, or I'm going to try to navigate this turn. And you know, the choice seems obvious when you think about it, but in the moment, it's easier said than done sometimes.
So this one here, let's watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
So that one's brutal. It's, you know, we're referring to Star Trek, a Kobayashi Maru, where it's an unwinnable scenario. Although there's the one thing that I feel like he's doing wrong right now is lane position.
Correct.
He should be all the way over in lane position 3, so that his speed is more perceptible to the van. Now, would it make a difference? Don't know, but it certainly can't hurt. And you know, some people say, oh, you know, that you got to lay the bike down or whatever. In a situation like that, I mean, I would be tempted to swerve left or to swerve really hard. Now it's really hard to judge from a video, speeds and all those things. And, we recognize that, we're not seeing everything. We don't have all the information, but it's possible. And it's possible for him right in this shot, for him to have been swerving and, it's oncoming traffic, maybe there's somebody behind him. I don't know. It's a really, really tough situation. But at the very least, being able to brake as hard as the bike is capable of braking, which there are relatively few people that can get 100% of the braking out of their motorcycles. Most people are 70% or so. The last statistic I remember seeing is they can't get full braking. And if you are going to hit, you want to hit it as slowly as going as slow as possible.
Going back to the beginning, being in lane position 3, in this situation, you could look ahead, and behind this van, you can see like there may not be anybody behind them, like the oncoming traffic, like you talked about. Plus, that's a turn lane behind them. So you could pretty much say, okay, there's nobody behind them. If I had to, like you were saying, you could swerve hard left, knowing nobody's coming up.
And it's good to war game like that as you're riding. It's just a good exercise. It gives you something to do, and it could make a difference.
Because if you're in lane position 3, in this situation, I'm covering my brake for sure, covering my brake. And our brother Cameron even talks about, the fork is loaded. Go ahead and cover that brake a little bit. If you need to slam on it, you're already started. Sometimes in this situation, what I like to wiggle my bike a little bit within lane 3, just to give the guy like, oh wow, yeah, something's moving there, more than just in a straight line. So I know MC Ryder talks about if you are in lane position 3 in this situation, the driver can perceive your speed a little bit easier than if you're in lane position 1.
One of the things that can also help just be more visible is those modulating headlights, which is something I have not done yet, but it's something I should do. And it would potentially help in a situation like this, because the driver probably just didn't even notice the motorcycle or didn't think he was going as fast as he was. Not that he was going too fast. It's just motorcycles are smaller than cars, and drivers are used to looking at cars and judging speeds of cars.
Yeah. It's just kind of that hypnotic state you get in as a driver. You
Yep.
just got to be aware. Awesome, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out our next video as we check out more videos to help you become a better rider. So go cover your brake.